Thank you for coming in, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, Theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Saying 26, Proverbs 24. Eat honey, my people, for it is good, and the honeycomb is sweet to your taste. Now, we are going to eat things that are good, hopefully, but there is a clause to this. Proverbs 25, 16 and 27. If you find honey, eat just what you need, lest you have too much and vomit it up. There's a point where we have wonderful things in our life. Wonderful, wonderful things. In this case, it's honey. If you can find honey, my son, eat it, because it's good. But if you find honey, eat just what you need, lest you have too much and vomit it up. Too often, we get to this psyche, this position in our psyche, where we overconsume. We overconsume our partner. We overconsume, if you're an addict, your drugs. If you're an alcoholic, your drink. If you're a religious person, possibly your religiousness. We overconsume. This is my point. And that's not good. Because if you overconsume, you start to psychologically vomit things up. You can get tired of your partner if you overconsume. You can get tired of your drugs and start to realize the light starts turning on. Oh, this ain't good for me, if you overconsume. If you overconsume your alcohol, you're going to vomit it up. If you overconsume lies, guess what? You're going to feel sick. If you overconsume debauchery, too much sex, alcohol and drugs, you're going to get sick. You're going to vomit it up. But it's all there. Oh, it's all there for you to have. You make your choice. You decide what you want. And you decide how much you want of it. You can't grandiose minimal intake. Well, I only had 2 cones last night. Well, I only had 1 tablet last night. Well, I only had half a dozen beers last night. You can't grandiose that, because it's all choice. Okay, if it's not prescribed by the doctor, it's choice. And you'll find that these people that are making themselves ill and are dying before their time, they're gluttons. They'll lose their marriages. They'll lose their finances. They'll lose their relationships. They'll lose their friendships. They'll lose their employees. They'll lose themselves. And it's all a choice. Is what you're interpreting to be honey really honey? Is it really good? Is it good for you? Is the alcohol good for you, viewer? Is it good for your meat suit? Is the the drugs good for your depression, you reckon? Really? The devil's lettuce is good for depression? No, it's not. Is the tablets good to keep your mind right? It's a band-aid. But you can eat whatever you think's good. You go right on ahead and eat it. But later, when you've had too much, when you've had too much, you're going to regret it. And you're going to regret it big time. I'll tell you why. Because the light was there the whole time. The light was there beside you the whole time. And you were looking for supply everywhere else. You had all that you needed. You had the satisfaction, you had your little dark side of life, you had understanding, you had someone by your side. But even that, you couldn't handle. It was all too much. And you vomited that up as well. You come to the garden, didn't you? You gathered my myrrh, you gathered my spices, didn't you? You eat and ate of the honeycomb with my honey, didn't you? You drank my wine with my milk. And did I begrudge any of it? No. But you ate too much. And you lost value for what you had. This has happened to you people. You've lost relationships because you gave too much. You didn't stop and realize that sometimes you have to show restraint to allow that person to appreciate you. When people, I've had girlfriends that were more bothered about saving their food than sharing it. That's not the point here. There's an abundance. That's the point. You were in an abundance. You were in the land filled with milk and honey. You weren't in the dark. You were in the light, and guess what you did? You ran away of yourself and you vomited it up. You were in the garden. You were the bride. You were the partner. You had the myrrh and the spice, the honeycomb, even the wine to drink freely. But by the time you know enough to reject evil and choose good, you'll be eating curds and honey. Some people just take too much of a good thing for granted. The honeycomb speaks of a city, a great city joined together, full of goodness and sweetness. Know therefore that wisdom is sweet to your soul. All the great things of life have to be mellowed with wisdom. Okay? have to be mellowed with wisdom. And if you find it, there is a future for you. And your hope will never, ever, ever, ever be cut off. But if you eat too much, which is the problem today, people aren't managing the intimacy that they're getting. They're not sowing back. They're reaping, but not sowing. They're giving the bodysuit, but not the heart. I've had people tell me they love me. I've had a girlfriend say, "Oh, I love you." And there was nothing matching in action with the words. Everything was falling down around them. They were vomiting the relationship up. They'd eaten all the honey. There was nothing else for them to have. I've watched this with my own two eyes. It was all good. All of it. Good. And in the end, guess what? They went back to the darkness. They vomited the light up. They couldn't comprehend how to get ahead for themselves, how to heal. But it was all there. They found the honey. The honey would come to them. The honey was there. They were in it, gorging themselves on it. But eat just what you need, lest you have too much. And the mask shatters. The mask slips off. The cracks appear. And your future and your hope you cut off. Integrity in a relationship's everything, and so is reciprocation. It's not all one way. And wisdom is always the fruit of reciprocation. When you reciprocate in your relationship, you're showing that you are wise. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.